People are homeless across the country, and how many are right here at home? The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, they have shared the newest numbers coming in from the 2025 Annual Homelessness Assessment Report with Congress. So let's walk you through those numbers tonight. Now, this is a snapshot of how many people were living on the street in a single night in the United States in January 2025. Last year, 266,320 people were living unsheltered on a single night in January. In total, 745,652 people were homeless on a single night in January, including those who were in shelters. Now, we're also learning more about what homelessness looks like on the local level. In Sioux City, the point-in-time count took place January 28th of this year. Now, it's conducted by the Siouxland Coalition to End Homelessness. And in Sioux City, there were 70 people counted unsheltered, which, by the way, is up from last year's total of just 43. That's a 63% increase. Now, the number of people staying in shelters was 254. In total, 324 people face homelessness in 2026. That's compared to 305 people in 2025. Now, if you are in need or know someone that's in need of resources in Siouxland, the Siouxland Coalition to End Homelessness is hosting a resource fair. It's happening Thursday. That's June 25th from 1 until 4 p.m. It's going to be outside in the Siouxland Community Health Center's lower parking lot. That's at 10th and Pierce Streets. And there will be organizations on hand that help with food, housing assistance, and medical needs. And this is in coordination with the mobile showers the health center hosts each Monday and Thursday afternoon. You can learn more about the event and see those numbers once again. It's online right now at KTIV.com.